Welcome to another video in which we will show you the famous Cardiff Museum. It was built by Dunbar Smith and Cecil C. Brewer in the year 1912 and 1913. It is free to visit and is divided into three parts. The first part contains all the ancient remains that the historians have discovered in the Cardiff. It has a spot where you can hear the history of Cardiff's famous attractions. Now let's know about some history about Cardiff. The first is about Taff River. The River Taff has always shaped the life of people in Cardiff. Then the Cardiff people changed the shape of the Taff, as we will see. People first settled in the Cardiff area around 6,000 years ago. The River Taff was important to them. It gave them food and transport by boat. People often built castles next to the sea and rivers. Bringing in supplies by water was safer and easier than transporting them by land. The castle and river made Cardiff town an important trading centre. The Taff was deep enough for medieval merchant ships to sail in and out easily. By the 1300s, the Cardiff was a busy port. Goods would come in and go out from Cardiff's first quay. This was near today's Womanby Street. High tides, heavy rains, and storms have caused the Taff to flood many times. Locals called it the Rage of the Taff. The Great Flood of 1607 was so bad that it changed the course of the river. In the 1840s, the Cardiff needed to expand its railway to carry coal and passengers. But the River Taff was in the way. So the famous engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel changed its course again. Central Station and the Millennium Stadium both now stand on the land Brunel reclaimed from the river. Now let's hear the story about Cardiff Castle. There has been a fortification since the Roman times reflecting the importance of Cardiff as a strategic and trading centre, as we will see. In around 50 AD, the Romans first built a wooden fort here on a rocky outcrop. It protected the Roman military road passing through South Wales. The fort could be supplied by sea, safer than bringing goods over the land. The Romans left Cardiff in 388 AD. The Norman invaders arrived in 1080s. Within the ruined Roman fort they built a huge mound of earth called the Motte. A wooden fence then created a courtyard called a bailey. Around 1135 the Normans made their fort stronger with a 12-sided stone tower called the Keep. You can still see this in Cardiff Castle today. In 1270 Llewellyn ap Griffith was leading a successful Welsh rebellion against English rule. Fearful of Welsh attack, The castle's English occupiers extended the fortifications with the Black Tower and South Gateway. By 1645, the powerful Herbert family controlled Cardiff Castle. It was the time of the civil wars and the castle was taken by the Parliamentarian army. Fortunately, they did not damage Cardiff Castle the way they did some castles in Wales. In 1865, Cardiff Castle was owned by John Crichton Stuart, the third Marquess of Bute. With his architect William Burgess, he extended the castle in a Victorian fantasy style, saving the Norman keep and other parts of its original structure. Cardiff Castle was given to the people of the city in 1947. It is still a living castle, as a tourist attraction and as a venue for many events. Now there are some glimpses of some ancient daily utensils of Cardiff. Some old-style house model. Old days pictures. Ancient ships and transport systems. Some garments of that era in Cardiff. Now this is a dress that drag queen, Dr. Brave wore 30 years ago when she started performing in Cardiff. This is the second part of the museum where the full section was covered with different and beautiful tiles. Some more artifacts. Now the third part of the museum, which is the contemporary part. Here a statue can be seen, maybe of their god whom they believe. Last but not the least is Cardiff Sound, which includes their instruments and the track. Here it ends. Hope you have enjoyed the video and learned many new things. Let's meet in another video.